think it's very important to have a strategic plan for your future, to assign the tasks involved in accomplishing the goals of that plan, to measure your progress, and that may mean having regular planning meetings, and then use any outside resources and support that you can get. The Enterprise Task Force researched a business for CVI and decided on a contact center. As a part of that team, we created a business plan and worked with the staff to raise over $2 million.
We very carefully selected board members who had the business acumen and the desire to get involved with something that was totally different from what the center had done in its previous term. And we supplemented the members of the board with individuals from the Atlanta business community who were familiar with contact center operations. And this gave us a very solid foundation of members who were willing to meet monthly to ensure that we executed the plan properly.
One of the things that stood out to me as a learning is the fact that you could embark on a project like this that was sort of different than something the center had done before, different from a traditional nonprofit exercise. This is creating a sustainable business model, but one that at its core, as Mac had talked about, is aligned to the core mission of the organization. And I think that that alignment and the ability to create sort of a non-traditional project that is self-sustaining, but is still consistent with the board's or that organization's core mission, I think is a key learning, not just for me, but I think for other boards as well.
And I would add one more to the excellent comments that Brian made, and that is that in a challenging economy, nonprofit organizations need to, not to use this term loosely, but to think outside the box.
I think this had the broadest participation of trustees of any project I've been involved in at CVI. And I think the reason for that is it touches just about everyone. We were coming out of a very difficult economic time, and we realized that we needed more control of our funding, but we also needed to be able to employ people. And so that touches those trustees who could give us ideas, give us thoughts, could be involved in different committees to get it off the ground. And so the genesis of it and the involvement of the trustees from the start was very high. The second component of it is that everyone wanted to participate. And we started with it from, once we had defined what our goals were and our objectives, we started with the fundraising side of it. And we had 100% participation from our Board of Trustees in starting our fundraising. I think that was a clear message about the intent of the project and ultimately one of the keys to success.
What I would think is the most important learning for another board would be two things: to be able to take risks, but to make your risks based on sound research, sound thinking, a lot of groundwork, a lot of communication among the board, a lot of buy-in by the entire board. It really took a big gulp to say, all right, we're going to engage in a business enterprise, and we think we can be successful at that.
Well, I think it's been really good. And let me just tell you a story. I was in a social environment with one of the people that's on a board here of a foundation. And when we were talking, she said to me that she was talking to another foundation, and both of them agreed that the most exciting venture that they invested in 2011 and 2012 was our ClearAnswer. So I think that's an endorsement that this is accomplishing what we really want it to be, which is employ people, train them, and also have a revenue source for CVI that will give us better control of our destiny in the future.